So, last year I posted something on my WhatsApp status. Initially, it was just a wild thought, but after the comments I got, I was like, wait, maybe I could actually do it. I posted, imagine I started a podcast on Spotify. So the following day, I took a screenshot of that because I thought I would use it someday as a marker in my journey. Then I thought, okay, if I'm actually going to do the podcast, then I had to show up properly. So I got to work. Luckily, I was deep in this personal branding course at that time, so working on myself to show up properly felt more like a next step rather than some radical shift. I knew what I wanted to talk about growth. That's what I want my personal brand to be about. But one of the things that stopped me from starting immediately was that I had a specific picture in mind regarding what showing up properly looked like. My articulation had to be sharp. The conversations had to carry real substance. The topics had to actually resonate. The social media strategy had to be logged in. Everything had to be right. Not perfect. I wasn't chasing perfect, but there was a standard, and I wasn't going to start until I felt I could meet it. So I began studying other creators, especially on Instagram. I remember I created a burner account just to observe how they posted, what they talked about. And the more I listened, the more I noticed something. Everyone had something to say. Everyone had this tried, tested, and proven framework for success. Whether it was a 30-day challenge, a 5-step system, a morning routine that would change your life. And I was that guy who was trying to keep up with all of it, all the steps, all the exercises. And the mental burnout I experienced from all that processing was genuinely overwhelming. The worst part, I didn't feel like I was making any progress. I had so many compelling options in front of me that I ended up choosing none of them. Because how do you choose when everything sounds equally convincing? Looking back now, I realized that the real problem wasn't that I was consuming too much information. The problem was that I was repeatedly consuming the same information, just that it was presented differently by all the different accounts. The underlying idea was the same. And I kept going back because something in me feels like, I'm missing something. My knowledge isn't complete yet. And eventually, I hit a wall. One evening, I was just there. I picked up my phone and I deleted everything: Instagram, Substack, LinkedIn, TikTok, gone. And it felt necessary. Like I genuinely needed the silence to hear myself think. Because now I had all these other voices suppressing mine. I still wanted to build something, but I needed to reconnect with my own voice. I still had that standard I cared about, but this time I was going to figure it out my way. That's when I started reading Atomic Habits by James Clear intensively. That book was so helpful. It brought my attention to things I wasn't even aware of. It helped me make changes that actually stuck because what I was really doing during that whole period was rebuilding something from the inside out, redefining my values, correcting habits that weren't serving me, adopting new ways of thinking. And so when I finally decided, okay, Point with Paapa is happening, you know what I did? I went back to YouTube, searched for how to, how to communicate clearly, how to build a community, how to grow an audience. And previously, that kind of search would have lit me up like dopamine spike and motivation through the roof, excited about all the possibilities. By this time, I felt nothing, like genuine disinterest. And that's when I realized something had shifted. Something I've been thinking about since then is this idea of certainty. Because when I really dug into why I was chasing all that advice, all those frameworks and systems and step by step processes, I realized I was chasing one thing: certainty. I wanted someone to guarantee that this will work. But here's the thing: certainty is unattainable. Think about it. Do you think any of these experts knew their outcome would be as good as it turned out to be? Maybe they had hope. Maybe they had a strong belief in what they were doing, but no one operates with a 100% guarantee. It's only in hindsight that they are sure. And that's what gets packaged as a tried, tested, and proven framework. But even then, even if it worked perfectly for them, that guarantee only holds for one person: their younger self. The world changes, the variables change, the things outside our control. environment, timing, luck, risk, all of it shifts. So all any of us ever really has is a high chance, not a certainty. Knowing every how to in the world won't change that. And so all any of us can do is start with what we know, adapt as we go, and see how it unfolds. So here I am, newsletter on Substack, podcast on YouTube, seeing where this goes. And I'll say this. If Ponder with Paapa ever becomes something bigger, okay, I won't be coming back to sell you a framework. You can hold me to this in the future. But I won't be coming back to sell you a framework. I would just be back to share what worked for me. Hopefully it helps someone who would be listening then. Right? Before I sign off, let me introduce you to a little game I call QAR. Question at random. The name is a work in progress, but basically I pick a question from a list I have, you answer, and then we continue learning. The question for today is fill in the blank. From today's episode, I learned that. I look forward to seeing your responses in the comments alongside any questions and remarks you may have. If you like this episode, kindly share with someone you think might enjoy it. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in another one.